Well, it's still going on. They finally scattered when I started yelling stuff at them. They're ridiculous, stupid. Ridiculous, stupid. The rapist showed up today. The guy that smothered me was in another parking lot where I could see him. I thought they said they taped her before and they didn't care what we did to her. Da 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 da. So I start rambling about the shower scene and the drug told to say, and all the camp police know it, and that I was framed. They admitted to framing me. I can run through over 10 people telling on them. Over 10. And they're not funny. And the Portage County sheriffs do need to go to jail for this. The bad people are showing back up, and none of this is funny. And they run around mocking me for a shower scene and drug to told to say stuff under date rape drugs. Ecstasy, their so-called sodium pentothal reports. They're so fucking funny, aren't they? I have never been in a question of wrongdoing. I have never been found guilty. I have never been prosecuted. So what are you talking about? Where I had bruises or I got sick on drinks and you drugged me up? Like they said, Chris, off in the dark, no man talked to her? No, we used truth serum on her instead. Where would you get it? It was outlawed in 17. Case started September 27th, 18. And they were bragging with the neighbors they used ecstasy on me. And date rape drugs to make me say stuff. And they abused me, and that's why I had bruises. Some guys said they were even choking me, and some kids said they were doing sick stuff to me under drugs before, trying to make me say stuff. I don't find these people funny, and somebody needs to do their damn job. And if they're afraid of some rogue Portage County sheriffs, they need to resign, or the Department of Justice needs to replace them. Because the only thing they can say, what do you mean, what were you doing in Karen's house? Well, Dave was dating retired Judge Pete's daughter, so we were stalking her. You arrested him, right? They date rape drugged her and told her to say stuff, and she never been questioned. She gets in trouble, right? You arrested him, right? You arrested him, right? We photoshopped a shower scene and over 10 men told on him. You arrested him, right? Like the FBI building, they won't ever address what they did to her. Besides, my God, honey. 2 guys said that when they walked out. When I went to talk to those 2 agents, and boy, we know she never hurt anybody. I told you. The one guy showed up in Maslin. I went to drive home the other day. 2 of the guys that watched me, how dare one of those idiots show up down here? We already told them we found her innocent a long time ago. 2018. 2018. So Melissa wants to go to jail. My ex-daughter-in-law, the documented liar, found telling the kids to lie during the state case, and the kids stating on Thanksgiving 18 they made everything up. They're documented me games of printing. She wants to go to jail, right? Her and her goony friends for date rape, drugging, and photoshopping everything, right? You're going to arrest them, right? Or you cowardly little panty waist that need to be replaced. Because I'll tell you what, like the retired sheriff said, for every officer you ask for help and you tell them what happened to you, they can be held legally responsible for the other person's actions if they don't find a state program to help you. Well, I'm starting to report them to the Department of Justice, and what are they going to say? Some rogue sheriffs broke in and watched Karen because of Michelle? You arrested them, right? Or reported them for her. Got her out of there, right? Because you can't look at it. Because it's illegal search and seizure. Well, they photoshopped a shower scene. 10 people told on them, you got her out of there, right? They used date rape drugs and lied they had sodium pentothal reports. You arrested them, right? Because where's her Miranda rights? Hers and Dave's. And where's the protective light case that was set up before Will's? Because the only time police and agencies can be in a home is under a threat of life. And they have to speak to everyone before they start. So before, like Officer Reinhardt and Louisville, before Will took your statement, the FBI couldn't even be in there. It'd be illegal to look or listen. It would be. It cost him his badge. Just like the Maslin police officer, November 24th, 21, 8:40 a.m., Altman Stat Care. I'm here to watch her. There's a Stephen Eric stalking her. And we don't know who they are yet. And it's finally got funny after everything they did. Nothing's admissible. No, it's not. They can't break in and stalk you because Dave's fucking a retired judge's daughter. And the sick satanic family is going Rambo on the wife. Because you know what? In the tapes before it, they have Terry's phone call. The church is taking up $25,000 because Ron Vega wants me dead. Because I got well the year his kid died. Had nothing to do with the death, but he's a sick millionaire. And strange, because Strange lied to everyone that I was faking I was sick and faking I got well. He's telling it 15 years later, and I have documents I was sick. He's just mental. They also have that him and Jack had a plan since March because I wouldn't give up everything willingly. They also have Dave's girlfriend's family owns the police. That means the police can't work a case against me my whole life. Like Officer Reinhardt said, with there being a county judge's family involved, that whole county couldn't say a word to you in your whole life. They'd go to jail. Then you don't have to worry about March 24th, 22. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know. I found out those people who raped her. I feel bad about everything. Got witnesses of that, too. They sold a lock-in by Christmas 18, made money on a protected light case. Tuscarora Sheriff, I was talking to him about it. He's like, the Portage County Sheriffs are sending out emails telling people not to believe you or getting threatened or harmed. It's illegal for them to even send that out, and they can go to jail. He said, you tell me what's going on. So I started going through everything. He's like, for one thing, we all know your ex-husband's crazy. And he said, you need to get a hold of the FBI to arrest the Portage County Sheriffs for this. And you need to get someone to move you out. I do. Because what happens if they said they taped me before? They go to jail. I've never talked to anybody. Like they said, they only use drugs on me. And they photoshopped a shower scene and more than 12 told on them. Edith Oakland apartment, December 9, 21, 4 p.m. All the tapes before with them, not her. It's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. December 9/21, Stark County Hunger Task Force. White man bald with dark eyes, distributing food at 9th Street. By 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, he actually worked. The case came out and said we always knew the tapes before with them, not her, so we never said a word. They both talked to Canton investigators and the police. Let's see. Oh, Lord. May 12th, 22, Bubba's Restaurant. Several police departments are driving by at noon. They're screaming, and we told those boys we found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26, 22 at noon at KOC in Belden. A man walks in. The attorney had it set up so it looked like she was weird with herself, and they can't use it because some idiot man told on them for the shower scene in the other room. March 2nd to the 3rd, 21, 8 to 10:30 at night. You can hear through the car tapes that they were going to put 2 clips together and put her in a porn. It's not her, it's them. That's where at Mercy Medical, the only thing they had on you was adjusting yourself. The guy said it's sick. No, it's actually funny. All she did is simply wipe off some water with clothes on. Yeah, just simply wipe something off until they started saying weird and all this other crazy stuff. It's like that never happened. Then I thought it was my head on somebody else's body. And then it's like, well, the only time I touch myself like that is showering. I walk outside, my car's bogged from the protective light case, and they sold it. She figured out what they did. Admitting it was a shower scene. They admitted it. They framed me March 24, 22, 1:30. You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. Shame on you. I know. I wish we wouldn't have done it. Those people even raped her. I got witnesses of that, too. Okay, May 25th, 21. Wendy's Crew, Louisville. 6 o'clock in the evening. The church people breaking in before, drugging me and telling me to say weirdo stuff. My one client told Jim and Brian it was too dark for him. 1295 Allen Middle apartment, little white lady screamed at him and then talked to several people. 8/8/21, a guy named Henry Maffey from Instagram and Facebook's been stalking me for 3 years. He works for Dave, my ex-husband. He comes racing into town. That ass actually fentanyl there, screams out on Fairlawn Street. I feel bad about everything. 8/8/21, 8:15 to 8:30 at night. Did you know he fentanyl her and told her to say it before? No, we just found out. We just didn't know. They knew the kids were like, they knew on Thanksgiving of 18, where I was supposed to be in protective light custody. Investigators are following everyone around. They found Michelle, retired Judge Pete's daughter, friends with Melissa, and telling the kids to lie. And the kids stated on Thanksgiving of 18, they made everything up. They're documenting me games of pretend. Okay? Yeah, 8, 9 first thing in the morning, apartment building for me, second close to the fence, apartment 2, read it out. Dave talked to the police a few days later. After they admitted to framing me, they came out and called him a bastard. My other neighbor, Amy, heard it in her apartment. 2 apartment buildings for me. There's a red apartment building with outside steps. They were actually yelling stuff at me before, and they yelled out that they were sorry for participating. They figured out what they did. My one client lives out in Navarre. They told her next door neighbor everything was photoshopped and it was Judge Pete doing it, and that they made everything up, and they've told several people. February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory at noon. A guy that looks like the guy that went to Paymer for I called a while back, but he looks like a younger brother, that he personally drugged me and told me to say stuff. People ran and save a lot, and then my client lives on 6th Street. There's a brown house across the way, and an African-American man lives in it, yelled at the postman. Postman's like, we all heard it. It's for we all here. Because they sold a log into the Protect Light case by Christmas 18. Let's see. January 19, 20 to 11 o'clock in the morning, Department of Disability in the back. Now, there's Canton Police in there, too. They came in and told them that I was drugged and told to say it before, and they're like, somebody needs to help her. June 7th is my birthday. My one client lives out on Turquoise Street. The split level across the way have been mocking me for the tapes before, and one of the lady investigators from Canton showed up and said, don't say anything to her. We already know all the tapes before were them, not her. We didn't realize that, and we're looking for who's doing it to her. Yeah, because Ed told, and the guy at the Hunger Task Force, those officers that were part of it were in the back of CSE Bank in 2019 and 2020, telling everybody they were my security for being an informant. And so they have been looking into it. Did you get a hold of Ed? Did you get a hold of the guy at the Hunger Task Force? Those officers actually did this to her? Well, I heard they didn't give her Miranda rights. It's like, well, I can beat that one. They broke in and stabbed me with needles and lied they had sodium pentothal reports. They peeled out. They've been around for the shower scene, the framing, the drugging and telling to say stuff, and they're already telling people not to say anything to me. They already know everything was them and not me. And yeah, I've never been questioned of wrongdoing. I've never been prosecuted and never found guilty. June of 19, I was at Liberty House Share. That same cop that said he went to Dave that was at CSE too. Was at Liberty House Share, looked at me and said, the worst thing you ever did wrong, honey, is bend over and properly. We can wipe that one out laughing. But then he made a mistake in front of the North Canton Jackson police. You made up a case to watch her before. That's funny. You did what to her before? That's funny. She must really like him. January 25th, 2019, I know the case. In my legally bugged house in Ravenna, 8 to 10:30 at night. Dave's acting crazy and all the cops are at the end of the road. One of them shows up. The police always knew she's innocent before they were talking about it at the station. Some guy was bailing his guy out from a team and said, if she's innocent, I'll pay a fine or bail. I said, no, the police already knew she was innocent before. And they knew somebody else did something wrong before. Okay? They knew they were framing me, and they were, like the security guard said, we always knew the tapes before were them, not her, so we never said a word. I've never been questioned. Like they said, Chris, no man talked to her. No, we used truth serum on her instead. Where would you get it? It was outlawed in 2017. It's a lethal outlaw drug you actually lie under. They use it in anthrax and lethal injections, and you lie under it. They told the neighbors they used ecstasy, human slave drugs. They're not funny. And these low IQ people, they need to be addressed and quick. The rapist showed up today. Was across the parking lot in another parking lot. Looked over me. I thought we raped her, and they said they didn't care what we did to her because they taped her before. You mean the shower scene and the drug confessions? You can't just rape somebody. I've never even been questioned. And I was found innocent at 18. I told you all the bad people are showing back up. None of this is funny.